Watching a Highwire Media podcast. Season 1 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine was a breath of fresh air in TV comedy, but Season 2 is where the show truly hit its stride. The characters we fell in love with began to evolve, the jokes landed harder, and the writers took bold risks that transformed the show from a great sitcom to a brilliant one. Season 2 brought deeper character dynamics, sharper humor, and more ambitious storylines that raised the stakes for both the precinct and the audience. It wasn't just about solving crimes anymore, it was about watching a group of misfits turn into a real family, all while keeping us laughing. Season 2 isn't just a continuation, it's a level up. From Jake and Amy's growing tension to Holt's legendary deadpan humor, the season saw bigger laughs and more daring storytelling. We're going to take a look at how the writers pushed boundaries, took creative risks, and injected a fresh energy that made this season unforgettable. If you thought Season 1 was good, get ready, because we're about to unpack why Season 2 took everything we loved and made it even better. So let's dive into the moments that made us laugh, the risks that paid off, and the brilliance that keeps us coming back for more. So when it comes to character development and growth, you gotta first take a look at Jake Peralta's maturity. In Season 2, we start to see significant growth in Jake Peralta as a character. While he still maintains his playful, immature side, this season highlights how he begins to take his role as a detective more seriously. One of the key areas where we see this shift is in his professional responsibility. For example, in episodes like The Pontiac Bandit Returns, Jake's persistence and clever tactics in dealing with Judy shows his ability to balance humor with strategic thinking. His willingness to play by the rules more often demonstrates his maturing approach to police work, a major evolution from his reckless methods in Season 1. Additionally, his personal growth is reflected in his evolving feelings for Amy. Jake is no longer just competing with Amy for case victories, he begins to recognize his deeper feelings for her, creating a slow burn romance that builds throughout the season.
To Jake and Amy!
These changes help round out Jake's character, making him more than just the precinct's class clown. And then we have Amy Santiago. Amy's journey in Season 2 focuses on her growing confidence both professionally and personally. Her rivalry with Jake, which started out as purely competitive, becomes more nuanced as their friendship deepens and subtle romantic undertones emerge.
Jake wins, Amy loses.
Amy's continued desire to impress Captain Holt pushes her to take on more responsibility and leadership roles, showcasing her ambition. In episodes like The Chopper, Amy's determination to follow protocol and her ability to lead the team come to the forefront. Her perfectionism, while still a source of humor, is now framed as a strength. At the same time, her more vulnerable side comes through as she starts to open up to the possibility of romance with Jake, adding emotional layers to her character beyond her career-driven persona. And of course, we got Captain Holt. Captain Holt's character is explored more deeply in Season 2, revealing the complexities behind his stoic exterior. While he remains a strong, unemotional leader of the precinct, the season introduces more personal moments that highlight his vulnerabilities. One major aspect of this is his relationship with his husband, Kevin. Episodes like Beach House allow us to see the softer, more personal side of Holt as he navigates the balance between his professional persona and his personal life. Additionally, the introduction of his nemesis, Madeline Wuntch, adds a comedic yet revealing layer to his character.
Madeline will eat you alive.
Holt's rivalry with Wuntch showcases his competitive side and his occasional pettiness, providing a contrast to his otherwise composed demeanor. These moments not only deepen his character, but also demonstrate how even someone as controlled as Holt can be rattled, adding more dimensions to his leadership and personality. And then who can forget Charles Boyle? Charles Boyle, who in Season 1 often served as comedic relief, begins to evolve into a more well-rounded character in Season 2. His relationship with Rosa, which previously centered around his unrequited crush, shifts as Boyle moves on from his romantic feelings and they develop a strong friendship.
Rosa?
Charles?
Boyle's loyalty to Jake is still a central part of his character, but he becomes more independent, stepping into his own as a competent detective. His evolving dynamic with Rosa is particularly interesting as we see moments of genuine friendship and mutual respect between the two. Despite their very different personalities, Boyle also continues to show a more vulnerable side, particularly when he navigates personal challenges like the unexpected romance with Gina.
Boyle is sleeping with Gina?
Adding layers to his character beyond the quirky sidekick role. And then we have Rosa Diaz. Season 2, Rosa Diaz's tough, no-nonsense exterior remains intact, but we begin to see glimpses of her softer, more vulnerable side. Her relationship with the other members of the precinct, particularly Jake and Boyle, reveal that despite her intimidating persona, she cares deeply for her friends. For example, in the Jimmy Jabs games, Rose's competitive nature is on full display, but we also see her enjoying the camaraderie with the team. Her interactions with Boyle evolve from awkward avoidance to genuine friendship, and we see that while she may not show it outwardly, Rosa values her relationships deeply. Additionally, her loyalty to her colleagues and her quiet moments of support add layers to her character, showing that Rosa is more than just the tough detective. She's a complex person with her own sense of honor and care for her team. And now we're going to take a look at the Jake and Amy relationship. One of the standout aspects of Brooklyn Nine-Nine in Season 2 is the slow burn romance between Jake and Amy. The show masterfully builds the romantic tension between these two characters, keeping viewers invested without rushing the relationship or sacrificing the humor. Throughout the season, their friendly rivalry continues to be a central theme, but it starts to evolve into something more as both characters begin to recognize their feelings for each other. Jake's gradual realization of his feelings for Amy is one of the key developments in the season. Moments like his subtle jealousy when Amy goes on dates or his growing admiration for her work ethic are hints that Jake is starting to see Amy in a different light. The show doesn't make this shift in his feelings too obvious, allowing it to feel natural and earned over time. In episodes like The Chopper, we see the competitiveness between Jake and Amy, but it's clear that their rivalry is underpinned by the mutual respect and affection. Jake's feelings for Amy begin to surface in small ways, and the audience can sense that something deeper is developing without it becoming the main focus of the season. At the same time, Amy's growing fondness for Jake is evident as well. Her usual obsession with following the rules and impressing Captain Holt starts to soften around Jake. She begins to see him as more than just a colleague or a competitor. The beauty of their relationship in Season 2 lies in the subtlety. The writers never rush their romance, but instead let it unfold organically, creating anticipation that keeps the audience engaged. This slow burn approach allows their relationship to add depth to the show without overshadowing the comedy or other storylines. And now we're going to take a look at the humor and chemistry of Season 2, or specifically the relationship of Jake and Amy. What makes Jake and Amy's relationship work so well in Season 2 is the balance between romantic tension and humor. Their chemistry is undeniable, and the show uses the tension to comedic effect throughout the season. Even as their feelings for each other grow, Jake and Amy continue to be themselves. Competitive, witty, and occasionally awkward, which adds to the humor of their interactions. Episodes like the Jimmy Jabs games are a perfect example of how the show keeps the comedy front and center while hinting at the romantic connection. The rivalry between Jake and Amy during these games showcases their chemistry and playfulness, making their interactions both entertaining and meaningful. The humor that stems from their competitive nature adds to the tension without making it feel forced or overly dramatic. Additionally, their relationship doesn't detract from their individual growth as characters. Amy continues to pursue her professional goals, working hard to impress Holt and further her career, while Jake matures as a detective and starts taking his responsibilities more seriously. Their developing romance never becomes the sole focus of their storylines, which is what makes it feel so well balanced. Overall, the slow build approach to Jake and Amy's romance in Season 2 adds a layer of emotional depth to Brooklyn Nine-Nine while still maintaining the show's signature humor. The chemistry between the two characters is a key ingredient in this, as their playful banter and competitive nature keep their relationship light and fun, even as their feelings deepen. This balance of humor and romance is what makes their storyline in Season 2 so compelling and sets the stage for their continued development in future seasons. And now we're going to take a look at some of the new and reoccurring characters, starting with Madeline Wuntch, played by Kira Sedgwick. One of the standout additions to Brooklyn Nine-Nine in Season 2 is the introduction of Madeline Wuntch. As Captain Holt's long-standing nemesis, Wuntch brings a new layer of conflict that drives some of the season's funniest moments. The rivalry between Holt and Wuntch is not only hilarious, but also serves to showcase Holt's character in a new, often revealing ways. Holt, who is typically composed, professional, and unfazed by most situations, becomes visibly irritated and petty whenever Wuntch is involved. Their interactions are filled with sarcastic jabs and elaborate insults, most of which come from Holt and his deadpan delivery. For example, in the episode Chocolate Milk, Holt's disdain for Wuntch is palpable when he refers to her as a fork-tongued lizard witch. These exchanges reveal a side of Holt that is rarely seen, one that is capable of holding grudges and engaging in personal vendettas, which makes for great comedic tension. Wuntch, for her part, is equally sharp and manipulative, making her a perfect foil for Holt. Wuntch's presence adds both humor and stakes to the season. The rivalry is not just for laughs, it also impacts Holt's career, as Wuntch is in a position of power within the NYPD and uses her influence to make Holt's life more difficult. This conflict brings out a more vulnerable side of Holt, as he must navigate both his personal disdain for Wuntch and the professional consequences of their feud. Overall, Wuntch's introduction enriches the show's dynamic, providing a recurring antagonist who both challenges and highlights the complexities of Holt's character. And then we have Doug Judy, played by Craig Robinson. Doug Judy, also known as the Pontiac Bandit, returns in Season 2, continuing his role as one of Jake's most beloved recurring foils. Played by Craig Robinson, Doug Judy's charm, wit, and humor make him a fan favorite. His dynamic with Jake is particularly compelling because it blends humor with tension, in a way that's rare for recurring guest characters. Doug Judy's relationship with Jake is complex. On one hand, they have a genuine camaraderie, mutual respect for each other's intelligence and street smarts. This is evident in The Pontiac Bandit Returns, where the two team up again despite their history as cop and criminal. Jake is simultaneously determined to bring Doug Judy to justice and charmed by his personality, leading to a playful and unpredictable dynamic.
Doug Judy!
This mix of friendship and rivalry creates a unique bond that often puts Jake in humorous moral dilemmas. He knows Doug Judy should be arrested, but he also enjoys spending time with him. What makes Doug Judy's character so effective is his unpredictability. Viewers never quite know whether he's going to help Jake or betray him, and this tension adds to the comedic value of their interactions. The humor comes not only from their banter, but also from the way Doug Judy constantly manages to outsmart Jake, keeping him on his toes. The combination of humor, tension, and charm make Doug Judy one of the most engaging, recurring characters in the series. Season 2 also features a variety of guest stars and recurring characters who enhance the world building of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and add depth to the show's universe. One notable recurring character is Kevin Costner, played by Mark Evan Jackson, Captain Holt's husband. Kevin's appearances in Season 2 offer a glimpse into Holt's personal life and humanize his character in a way that contrasts with his strict professional demeanor. Their relationship, filled with mutual respect and understated affection, is often used for comedic effect, particularly when Kevin interacts with Holt's more chaotic colleagues, creating a humorous clash between his academic world and the precinct's high-energy environment. Another standout recurring character is the Vulture, played by Dean Winters, who returns in Season 2 as a thorn in the side of Jake and the squad.
The Vulture still flies! The Vulture still flies!
His arrogant and selfish demeanor adds tension and humor to any case he is involved in, particularly when he swoops in to claim credit for their hard work. The Vulture's over-the-top personality provides a fun contrast to the more grounded members of the precinct, further emphasizing how well Jake and his team work together despite their differences. These guest stars and minor characters, while not always central to the plot, play an important role in expanding the world of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and creating memorable, comedic moments that complement the main cast. Their appearances keep the show's universe dynamic and vibrant, while also adding fresh elements to each episode they're featured in. And now we're going to take a look at Season 2's bolder humor and writing. In Season 2 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the writing takes a leap forward, with humor that feels sharper, more confident, and more daring than in the show's first season. The writers lean into the absurdity, pushing the boundaries of what a traditional sitcom can do. Episodes are packed with fast-paced jokes, absurd scenarios, and creative situations that keep viewers on their toes. This season shows the writers taking more risks, not only with punchlines, but with entire storylines. One of the best examples of this risk-taking is the infamous Halloween heist in Halloween 2. The premise of Jake and Holt trying to outsmart each other in an over-top game of theft has evolved into a beloved tradition that plays with increasingly absurd strategies and high stakes, all while maintaining the core of the characters' personalities. The ridiculous lengths Jake and Holt go to outwit each other reflect the show's willingness to embrace sillier, bolder comedic choices. This approach extends to other episodes as well, when the writers mix quick, fast-talking dialogue with physical comedy in offbeat situations. For instance, the episode The Jimmy Jabs Games using an absurd precinct-wide competition to showcase the characters' quirks in a way that is both hilarious and revealing. Season 2 showcases how Brooklyn Nine-Nine isn't afraid to experiment with humor, making it feel fresh and unpredictable. The comedy in Season 2 is particularly effective because it's deeply tailored to each character's unique personality. Instead of relying solely on situational humor, the writers use each character's quirks, flaws, and relationships to drive the laughs forward. This personalized humor not only makes the jokes land harder, but also helps deepen the audience's connection with the characters. Boyle's awkwardness reaches new heights in this season, as his loyalty to Jake and his oddball tendencies are played for maximum comedic effect. Whether he's enthusiastically sharing strange food opinions or being overly eager to please, Boyle's character is consistently funny because the humor is rooted in his well-established persona. In the episode The Pontiac Bandit Returns, his loyalty to Jake creates hilarious, awkward situations, but it also reinforces how much of Boyle's comedy is about his big-hearted yet socially unaware personality. Meanwhile, Gina's outlandish behavior and over-the-top self-confidence continues to be a source of bold, unpredictable humor. Gina has always been the wild card, and in Season 2, the writers crank up her absurdity with lines and moments that no one else could pull off. For example, her unexpected romance with Boyle, though awkward, is full of humor that plays off their wildly different personalities. Captain Holt's deadpan humor, which was already a highlight in Season 1, is elevated even further in Season 2. The writers lean into his stoicism, using his emotionless delivery to create comedic contrast. Season 2 is also defined by its clever use of running gags, which adds continuity and give viewers moments to look forward to through the season. These recurring jokes have become essential parts of Brooklyn Nine-Nine's comedic identity, and they are ramped up even further in this season. One of the most notable running gags is Jake's obsession with Die Hard. His love for the action franchise remains a constant source of humor, whether he's referencing the movie during investigations or dreaming of living out his John McClane fantasies. This obsession becomes an ongoing joke that highlights Jake's childlike enthusiasm and adds a fun, playful dimension to his character. Boyle's eccentric love for food is another running gag that reaches new levels in Season 2. His peculiar culinary taste, from gourmet cuisine to strange food combinations, continue to be a recurring theme that adds to his quirky persona. Whether it's his deep knowledge of obscure foods or his exaggerated reactions to eating something delicious, Boyle's passion for food provides consistent laughs throughout the season. Holt's deadpan delivery, a fan favorite from Season 1, becomes even more iconic in Season 2. His ability to say the most ridiculous things with a completely straight face, especially in situations that would typically warrant some emotional response, is masterfully used by the writers. Whether he's delivering an emotionless insult to Wuntch or reacting stoically to chaos in the precinct, Holt's humor remains a cornerstone of the show. These running gags, along with other recurring moments like Terry's obsession with yogurt or Gina's self-aggrandizing statements, give Brooklyn Nine-Nine its comedic rhythm. They create familiar beats that the audience loves while still allowing the writers to explore new jokes and absurd scenarios within the characters' established traits. Now we're going to take a look at some of the memorable episodes of Season 2. Starting off with, of course, Halloween 2. Second Halloween Heist, Halloween 2, builds on the wild success of the first season's Heist, turning what was already a fan favorite competition between Jake and Captain Holt into an iconic annual tradition for the show. The stakes are raised even higher in this episode, as Jake bets that he can outwit Holt by stealing his precious Medal of Valor before midnight. What sets this episode apart is how it escalates the intensity and complexity of the heist, with each character's involvement becoming more elaborate and ridiculous. The tension between Jake and Holt grows as both characters go to greater lengths to outsmart each other. Jake's determination and creativity are on full display as he schemes with increasing boldness, while Holt's unflappable nature makes every twist even funnier. Their escalating rivalry and commitment to the absurd competition adds layers to both characters while keeping the laughs coming. The Halloween Heist becomes an annual feature that fans anticipate each season, and Halloween 2 solidified it as one of the show's most memorable recurring themes. And then we have The Pontiac Bandit Returns. Pontiac Bandit Returns brings back fan favorite Doug Judy. In this episode, perfectly captures the balance between humor, action, and criminal intrigue that makes Doug Judy's character so beloved. The dynamic between Jake and Judy is what truly shines in this episode. Their odd friendship, rooted in their shared wit and mutual respect, creates a unique tension. Jake wants to capture Judy for his crimes, but he can't help but like him. The episode showcases Jake's internal conflict as he's torn between his duty as a detective and his personal affection for Judy. The banter between them is quick, sharp, and endlessly entertaining, adding to the fun of their cat and mouse game. The episode's ability to mix lighthearted humor with genuine stakes create a memorable balance that leaves the viewers wanting more Judy. This dynamic has become one of the show's most iconic relationships, with each of their encounters becoming must-watch episodes. And then we have Beach House. In Beach House, the precinct gets a rare chance to bond outside of work during a weekend getaway at Boyle's Beach House, and this setting allows for a fresh look at the characters' dynamics when they're outside the confines of the precinct. This episode is notable for the way it explores the relationships between the detectives in a more relaxed, personal setting, highlighting just how well the ensemble cast work together. One of the most entertaining subplots in this episode is Jake's attempt to make Captain Holt let loose and enjoy himself, which predictably leads to comedic failure, as Holt remains his stoic self despite Jake's efforts. The episode also reveals more about the group's friendships, particularly through the cops and robbers game, where the detectives' competitiveness and quirks are on full display. Watching the characters interact in a casual setting allows for new, more personal and funny moments, while still maintaining the fast-paced humor fans love. It's a great example of how these shows can blend character-driven comedy with the ensemble's strong chemistry. The Boyle and Nettie Wedding. The Boyle and Nettie Wedding is a chaotic yet heartwarming episode that captures everything great about the ensemble cast. The wedding between Boyle's dad and Gina's mom brings the entire precinct together. And the episode delivers a perfect mix of humor, awkwardness, and touching moments. One of the highlights is the unexpected and hilarious complications that arise from the fact that Boyle and Gina are now step-siblings. Their previously awkward relationship is pushed to even funnier extremes, with Boyle's ever earnest, overly affectionate nature, and Gina's disdain for her sentimentality. The episode also showcases the depth of the cast's chemistry, with every character contributing to the comedic chaos. From Jake's bumbling attempts to keep everything running smoothly, to Rose's surprising moments of emotion. The episode also weaves in genuine heartwarming moments, particularly between Boyle and Gina, who, despite their differences, learn to accept their new family dynamic. It's a perfect example of how Brooklyn Nine-Nine balances heartfelt themes with its significant chaotic humor, making it one of the standout episodes of the season. And now we're going to take a look at some of the themes and story arcs of Season 2, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Starting off with professional growth. Season 2 focuses on the professional development of the characters, highlighting how they handle more significant responsibilities and higher stake cases as they grow in their roles. Each character shows professional growth throughout the season, both as individuals and as part of the team. Jake, for example, like we previously mentioned, matures as a detective. While he still maintains his humor and impulsive tendencies, we see him taking on more challenging cases and handling them with greater professionalism, such as the Pontiac Bandit returns, where Jake must balance his personal connection to Judy with his duty as a detective. This season shows Jake grappling with the consequences of his actions and learning to be more accountable, especially as he navigates his feelings for Amy and his responsibilities to the precinct. Amy, too, continues to grow professionally, becoming more assertive and confident in her abilities. Her ambition to impress Captain Holt and rise in the ranks drives many of her storylines, but we also see her stepping up as a leader. In episodes like The Chopper, Amy takes on more responsibility, demonstrating that she's ready to handle bigger cases and make important decisions. Even Boyle, who often provides comedic relief, shows growth as a detective. His personal quirks don't overshadow the fact that he's a competent investigator, and his growing confidence, especially in handling cases alongside Jake, is evident throughout the season. Rosa continues to be a force within the precinct, but we also see her starting to let down her walls, showing more emotional intelligence and flexibility when dealing with cases and callings. The character's professional growth is intertwined with their personal relationships, allowing for deeper development in both areas. The show cleverly weaves humor into these moments, growth, keeping the tone light while showcasing the characters' evolution in their roles. Next up, we got Justice versus Personal Lives. Season 2 blurs the line between the detectives' professional duties and their personal lives, often forcing them to confront situations where the two conflict. This theme is explored through various storylines where loyalty, friendship, and integrity are put to the test. Jake's relationship with Doug Judy is a prime example of this tension. As a detective, Jake's mission is to bring Judy to justice for his crimes. But his personal affection for Judy makes it difficult to carry out his professional responsibilities. Episodes like The Pontiac Bandit Returns illustrate how Jake struggles to reconcile his duty as a detective with his friendship, creating a dynamic that is both humorous and thought-provoking. The show explores the idea that sometimes personal feelings complicate the pursuit of justice, but it also demonstrates Jake's growth as he learns to navigate these difficult decisions. Similarly, Captain Holt's rivalry with Madeline Wuntch challenges his professionalism as he lets his personal disdain for her influence his actions. While Holt is usually the epitome of professionalism, Wuntch's presence brings out a more emotional, vengeful side of him, forcing him to balance his personal vendetta with his responsibilities as the precinct's captain. This storyline not only provides some of the season's funniest moments, but also adds depth to Holt's character, showing that even the most composed individuals can struggle with personal biases. The theme of loyalty and friendship is also evident in the way that detectives support one another, both inside and outside the precinct. Episodes like Beach House blur the line between work and personal life as his team spends time together in a non-professional setting, revealing more personal sides to each character. This blending of their personal and professional lives strengthens their bonds, making them more than just colleagues, they become a family. And now we're going to take a look at tone and storytelling progression. One of the most notable aspects of Brooklyn Nine-Nine Season 2 is how it builds stronger, more cohesive story arcs that run across multiple episodes. While Season 1 laid the foundation with episodic storytelling, Season 2 seamlessly weaves these standalone episodes into overarching plot lines, giving the season a sense of progression and depth. Writers achieve this by carefully balancing self-contained stories with ongoing developments in the characters' relationships and personal lives. A prime example of this is the slow evolution of Jake and Amy's relationship. While individual episodes still focus on humorous cases or precinct antics, the underlying romantic tension between the two characters is ever present and gradually intensifies as the season progresses. This slow burn approach allows their relationship to feel more natural and realistic, adding an emotional layer that runs alongside the comedy. Episodes like the Jimmy Jabs Games and the Chopper subtly builds this tension without taking over the narrative, creating a sense of anticipation for viewers. The writers ensure that their evolving relationship becomes a key story arc that links the season together, without detracting from the humor or pacing of the show. Similarly, Captain Holt's ongoing feud with Madeline Wuntch provides another long-term narrative that gives the season its structure. Their rivalry, introduced early in the season, isn't just a one-off plot point, but becomes a recurring source of tension and comedy throughout. What makes these narrative arcs so effective is how they are seamlessly integrated into the episodic nature of the show. Each episode still delivers on Brooklyn Nine-Nine's signature humor and standalone plots, but the ongoing storylines tie everything together, giving the season more emotional weight and continuity than its predecessor. Season 2 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine is pivotal in laying the groundwork for several key plotlines that will develop and evolve throughout the series. One of the most significant story arcs established in this season is the slow burn romance between Jake and Amy. Throughout Season 2, we see their friendly rivalry gradually transition into something more meaningful, with inner hints of their mutual affection becoming increasingly apparent. By the end of the season, it's clear that their relationship is heading toward a deeper connection, setting the stage for their eventual romance, which becomes the central storyline in later seasons. This careful setup in Season 2 ensures that when Jake and Amy's relationship fully blossoms, it feels natural and earned, building on the foundation laid during this critical period. Season 2 also introduces new dynamics and themes that carry forward into future seasons. Characters like Boyle and Rosa develop deeper friendships that will continue to evolve, while Terry's journey of balancing fatherhood and his career provide more personal stakes in later storylines. The professional growth of each character in Season 2 also serves as a springboard for more complex challenges and cases in future seasons, ensuring that the series doesn't just rely on humor, but also offers meaningful progression for its ensemble cast. Season 2 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine didn't just continue what made the first season great, it took the the show to new heights by blending sharper humor with more meaningful emotional storytelling. The writers built on the momentum of Season 1, refining each character's personality, tightening the comedic timing, and pushing the boundaries of traditional sitcom formats. The humor became more daring, with bold scenarios like the escalating Halloween heist, and reoccurring comedic arcs such as Holt's feud with Wuntch. This season truly elevated the humor by tailoring it to the characters' evolving personalities, creating moments that felt fresh, sharp, and undeniably funny. However, it wasn't just the laughs that made Season 2 stand out. The emotional storytelling added depth to the show, allowing viewers to connect with the characters on a more personal level. Jake's maturing professionalism, Amy's growing confidence, and the slow burn romantic tension between them provided emotional arcs that were just as captivating as the jokes. Holt's vulnerabilities were revealed through his rivalry with Wuntch, and even characters like Boyle and Rosa had opportunities to grow beyond their established quirks. By balancing humor with emotional development, Season 2 raised the stakes for the characters, making their personal and professional growth central to the storytelling. Season 2 is more than just a continuation of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it's an evolution that set the stage for the show's long-term success. This season is pivotal because it establishes the formula that would carry the show forward. Fast-paced humor balanced with genuine character development. Every episode in Season 2 not only delivers laughs, but also advances the overarching storylines, particularly Jake and Amy's relationship and Holt's career struggles. Revisiting Season 2 is a chance to appreciate how the show began to fine-tune its balance of humor and heart. It's where the characters start to feel more fully realized, and the show starts taking creative risks that would pay off in later seasons. The relationship becomes richer, the stakes higher, and the laughs even bigger, making Season 2 a key turning point in Brooklyn Nine-Nine's evolution. Whether you're watching it for the first time or revisiting it after seeing the whole series, Season 2 remains one of the most pivotal and satisfying seasons, showcasing why Brooklyn Nine-Nine became one of the most beloved comedies of its era. And that wraps up our deep dive into Brooklyn Nine-Nine Season 2, where the humor got sharper, the characters grew deeper, and the series truly found its stride. But we're just getting started. Next week, we're heading into Brooklyn Nine-Nine Season 3, where things even get more exciting. From Jake and Amy finally addressing their feelings, to new challenges for Captain Holt, and one of the funniest guest appearances yet. Season 3 is packed with unforgettable moments, so make sure to tune in, because we'll be breaking down how Season 3 pushes the precinct into brand new territory, while still keeping us laughing every step of the way. You won't want to miss it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, what you thought of Season 2 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and where do you rank it among the seasons? And let me know also what your favorite character of Brooklyn Nine-Nine is. And of course, if you want to support the channel, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/cinemagold. Your support helps the channel grow, upgrade our equipment, bring in new hosts, be able to pay them, and hopefully one day take this show on the road. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening. Don't forget you can find us on Good Pods and all major podcast platforms, and we'll see you next time.